this is Warhawk Beyond 2040, and welcome to another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. And today I'm going to be taking a look at a brand new 2026 release from pianist Marilyn Crispell and bassist Anders Jormin, and this is their newest duo recording for ECM Records, Memento. So, Memento marks the first time ever that Marilyn Crispell and Anders Jormin have actually played and recorded together. And these two, of course, as we all know, have been cornerstones for the ECM label, and they have had a long association that goes back a number of years. In fact, Marilyn Crispell actually played on a Anders Jormin album called In Winds in Light, which came out in 2004. And these two have played and collaborated together in a number of different situations, but they have never actually recorded an album together until now. Now, Marilyn Crispell, as we all know, is one of the greatest piano players of all time and has been a force on the avant garde scene for decades. And Anders Jormin is considered by many to be one of the top premier bass players in the world and has been the resident bassist for the ECM label and has played and collaborated with a number of great artists such as Ferenc Snetberger, Tomasz Stanko, and has been a long-time member of the Bobo Stenson Trio. So when you get Marilyn Crispell and Anders Jormin together, you know you're going to be expecting something really special because you've got two musicians who have seen it all, done it all, and you know have a very deep rapport with each other. And it's just absolute magic with these two. It's a very laid back album, especially for Marilyn Crispell, who has done a number of wild albums in the past. And we actually get to see a different side to Marilyn Crispell's piano playing. It's very heartfelt, it's very classy, it's very elegant, and she has almost a very subdued touch in her playing. And Anders Jorman, whether he's playing straight ahead bass playing or he's delivering bowed melodies, you know, Anders Jorman is a rock solid bassist and he always knows how to play the right notes at the right time and leaves a lot of space for his fellow bandmates to not only breathe but let them do their own thing. So I would probably say, as far as I'm concerned, Marilyn Crispell and Anders Jorman Memento is equally as good as what Keith Jarrett and Charlie Hayden put out in the past. I would certainly put this album right up there at the top with their two albums that they did together many years earlier. And this album, I've listened to it a number of times already. It's absolutely fantastic. It's classy, very elegant, very laid back. In some spots, it's very atmospheric. You name it, this album has got it all. And these two work really well together. And it's quite surprising for me because when you've got two veterans like Marilyn Crispell and Anders Jorman, you probably would have thought they have made an album together because they've been around for like forever. And this is only like the first time now, officially, they have actually crossed paths and made an album together. And it was definitely worth the wait. And this album, if you're a fan of Marilyn Crispell and Anders Jorman, this album definitely delivers and doesn't disappoint one bit. And as a duo, Crispell and Jorman, it's just magic. So let's have a quick look, shall we? So there is Marilyn Crispell and Anders Jorman. There is the lovely lady herself on the piano. couple more shots of Crispell and Jormin, and there's the two together in action, and there's the tracks, and there's the tracks as well. There's the ECM head man himself, Manfred Eicher, and we've got the production notes as well. So lots of the compositions are either co-composed by Crispell and Jormin, and Jormin has a couple of compositions of his own, and Crispell also contributes a couple of compositions of her own as well. Now, a lot of the pieces on this album are quite relatively short pieces. Obviously, there are a couple of quite fairly long-ish tracks, but as I said, most of the pieces are quite relatively short, and there is also a couple of solo pieces as well. But it's an absolutely beautiful album, as you'd expect from these two incredible musicians. So we got For the Children, which is a gorgeous opener. Dialogue is great. Embracing the Otherness is great. Contemplation in D is great. Three Shades of a House Morning is absolutely incredible. Three Shades of a House Evening is absolutely brilliant. And then we got Song, which is great. And then we got the title track, Memento, is just absolutely great. And then we got Beach at Nuki is great, and The Dark Light is brilliant. And we've got Dragonfly. So from top to bottom, a tremendous album, as you'd expect from Marilyn Crispell and Anders Jormin. Just a really great album, in my opinion. And the standout tracks for me are For the Children, Dialogue, Three Shades of a House Morning, Three Shades of a House Evening, the title track, Memento, Beach at Nuki, and Dragonfly. But top to bottom, it's classy, it's elegant, it's absolutely beautiful. It's a very laid back album, and if you like duo albums in this sort of style, then you have definitely come to the right place, because as soon as I heard one track from this album, I knew straight away I had to get this, and I'm so glad I did. It didn't disappoint, it absolutely delivered, and I wouldn't expect anything else but the absolute best from two musicians the caliber of Marilyn Crispell and Anders Jormin. And as great as Marilyn Crispell is on the piano, and she is one of the absolute best in the world, Anders Jorman's bass playing for me is a highlight for me. His bass playing on this album is top notch, and it's nice to actually hear Anders Jormin in this environment, because I've been so used to hearing him playing in a band or in a large ensemble. You know, he's always kind of been in the background. So to actually hear him in this setting, you really get to hear what a tremendous bass player he really is. And he's featured quite heavily on this album. And these two together really push each other and really bring out the best in one another's playing. Just an absolutely amazing album. So there you have it. Marilyn Crispell and Anders Jormin, Memento, a fantastic album and one of the best albums of 2026, in my opinion. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What's your favourite track from Marilyn Crispell and Anders Jormin, Memento? Is it For the Children, Dialogue, Embracing the Otherness, Contemplation in D, Three Shades of a House Morning, Three Shades of a House Evening, Song, the title track, Memento, Beach at Nuki, The Dark Light, or Dragonfly? Or did you enjoy the entire album? There's no right or wrong answer. We all have our favourite tracks. You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. So until next time, Take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.